Hello, how are you? Welcome to my video. Today I'm going to talk about motivation in EFL elementary class. First of all, let's define motivation. According to Cambridge Dictionary, motivation is an enthusiasm for doing something, also a need or a reason for doing something. Said this, we can classify motivation in two main categories, intrinsic and extrinsic motivation. Intrinsic motivation is a motivation to learn something that comes from an internal force of desire. In this case, it can be an interest in learning another language for further personal development in some specific area. Extrinsic motivation is what is motivated for external pressures, not comes from the individual, it comes for external causes. For instance, I'm learning English because it's mandatory in my school. Or I am learning English because I need a raise in my job. In the classroom, we can find two important factors to motivate, the teachers and the students. As an English teacher, you are building one of the most important bricks of the society, which is education. You will be an example to follow for the kids. This is such a big responsibility. For this reason, you can make the difference inspiring your students. In my personal opinion, I believe that if you as a teacher are motivated, your students will be motivated too. Some reasons that teachers need to achieve this motivation can be: number one, your main reason to become a teacher. Some causes could be if you have previous experience teaching, your passion for working with kids, also your expectations about a well-paid job. Number two, the satisfaction to be a teacher. Working in a good condition and with all the resources that you need to develop your class, as well the salary is according to your expectations. And one of the most important to me is the result of the successful process of learning of your students. Sometimes students join the class because of extrinsic motivation and become motivated intrinsically as learning becomes enjoyable and rewarding. I am going to give you some tips to keep the motivation in your students. You can use some techniques or activities in the class in order to make the class enjoyable and productive. Role play. Teachers are advised to use the role play activity in order to help the less motivated learners take part in the lesson. Some excellent examples are the hide item and the guessing game, or dramatizing a misunderstood between a customer and a salesman. Group work. This type of collaboration results in benefits for all the students because they can help each other while working in different types of tasks as interviews, drawing pictures, and making comments. Researches on second language acquisitions have shown that learners have difference in mastering skills. While one student is good in drawing, another can be good expressing ideas verbally. A third other student can be good at role play and imitation. The seating of the students. This can be very surprising for you, but in fact the way the students are seated in the classroom can determine the dynamics of the lesson. A simple change can make an incredibly difference to the group control and satisfaction of the students. Of course, it depends on the number of the students the teacher has. You can make a horseshoe shape, a circle, or just line. It is important to keep eye contact with all the kids. If the person who is speaking doesn't have the eye contact with the others, then attention is likely to drop. This is the main reason I personally think the horseshoe shape to group is the best. The error correction. It's always recommended we should correct all the students' error exactly in the moment that they occur. However, if we stop at every single error, this can be affect the student communication. They will be afraid of making mistakes. Teachers should be aware of when is the best moment to correct errors and most important, how to do it without hurt and humiliation. There are many ways of how to correct errors, like self-correction, peer correction, and teacher correction. Don't forget that one day we were sitting in a classroom chair. In conclusion, it is important to remember what was your main reason to become an English teacher. And remember that you can make the difference in the life of the student. I would like to finish this video with this quotation. It is so hard when I have to, and so easy when I want to.